Hey there, Lizzie with you today to show you a little book that I did for my grandson. It's in a pocket page notebook, which is produced by, see that? By the Stamp Spot here in Australia, but she does post overseas, which is nice to know. Anyway, I did lots of different things in here. I was really pleased with how it turned out. So first off, on this page, I've used lots of washi and some stickers, of course. These are little booklets that I make for my grandchildren, and they're just an overview of their year, and they're for them because I think they're a perfect size for little hands to hold and to look at, but they're quite sturdy as well. The good thing about these books is that even though I've written with like texter, whatever the name, markers, they don't go through. So that's a really good thing. If you used watercolours, they probably would. They're not that sturdy, but for normal markers, they're fantastic. The thing I like about these is that they have little plastic sleeves, little plastic pockets that you can slip a photo in between. But in this instance, I've just used my fuse tool, divided in 3 and popped a few sequins down there because it was his birthday. I've used lots of collages. I make them up usually with Maldive, I don't know what you call it, or my Project Life Hack by Becky Higgins. The idea of these pocket pages is not to use new stuff, but to use old stuff. So lots of stars, lots of alphas that don't match because I was trying to use them up. On this, I think the thing is about the plastic sleeves is it's nice to show you different ways of using them or utilising them. On this one, I've used 2 photos, one on the left and one on the right, both about tree climbing. And then you can sort of see through the pocket to the journaling about the tree climbing. But then as you flip over, I've just written the 2 stories about it down the side. And I was lucky to have some washi tape that had trees on it as well. Another collage. This time I've just done the traditional thing, which is to cut a piece of scrap cardstock and pop some photos and some journaling on it. Then backed it off on this side and done another photo down that way. Really like this. I like how I've used the different alphas down there. I've used lots of little stamps, and I like the idea of the photo just being on the side a little bit. I like how you can sort of, cascade your photos down the page as well. Or on this one, I've just adhered a piece of scrap paper to the white paper, makes it a bit stiffer but not too much fatter. Popped some washi down the side and popped a bigger photo on. Did a similar thing here. What I try to do actually is that as I'm going, to keep it fairly even and flat, I'll put a photo at one end and down another, just so that it sort of eventually comes out evenly. I wouldn't put all the photos up the top, for example. In this pocket, I've got a thin piece of scrap paper stamped on it first, and then adhered the photo over the top. And then on this side, I'm lucky, I'm fortunate to have an old-fashioned typewriter. So I've taken just a piece of A4 copy paper, cut it down to size, typed on it, and then adhered it on the back of this photo. So that worked out quite well too. This one, I just used 1 staple on the corner of each photo together. Then I slipped them into the pocket and then use just 1 staple down the bottom to adhere them. So they're actually free in here except for the very bottom photo. And then I've backed them off with pattern paper on that side. And to stick to the plastic, the red liner tape works really, really well. So if you want to stick something on the outside of the plastic, use the red liner tape. Fantastic. And with this one also, what I've tried to do is do an arrow and what the photo's about for each one. And then when you flip it over, you sort of get the story as well. So that worked out quite well. The middle one, I know a lot of people tend to cover that with a whole sheet of pattern paper. Probably helps the staples, but I just wanted to do a laugh cry one. And the other thing is, if you feel the staples are getting a little bit loose in the middle after a while, which can happen with all books, a bit of washi tape them down the middle works out perfectly. This one I've done some more sequins, but this time I've put the sequins in the bottom, fused along the middle, and then at the top I've just put one little butterfly. And then on the other side I had this sticker, so I had to make sure I had a sticker which I've popped over the top with that red line glue to cover it up on the other side. So that's something that you do have to remember. If you've got one photo on this side, it's best to put the pattern paper or the photo so it matches, or around about anyway. And I like how this works for this one, but you can sort of see it through the other side. Yeah, it's cute. Going too long. This one I've also typed out the story and attached it. Just used the stickers straight on top of the plastic packet, so that's actually open. There's nothing in there. And those were simple story stickers, and they're firm. They're really stuck. Didn't do anything else to them, just stuck them down. So that's a good offer sticker, and some big photos. This one I didn't do anything to, but the washi tape's on that side. However, it came out nicely on that side. So I like how I've got the other side of the washi tape. Bit lucky. Lots and lots of collages. This one I finally got the sewing machine out. I'm not really a sewer, to be honest, but I did the best that I could. So I've actually popped the cardstock in with the photo. Then I've put the alphas over the top of the plastic, and then I've sewn it together so that holds the cardstock in and adheres the alphas down because they weren't as sticky. On the other side is disgusting stitching because my machine doesn't, I don't know what you call it. You call that something, but anyway, I can't be bothered. I'm not a very good sewer, so I don't know what to do to make it better. So it is what it is. This time I've just used a smaller strip of pattern paper on the front and back and adhered the photo across the top like an upside down hammer or something, I suppose. But I like it. I like how that fits a 3x4 card in the middle and a smaller one in there. That's chipboard and it is thick, but the book itself is not that thick, so I figured by this stage I could get away with it. Santa one, and that's a fairly traditional one, but it was a bit sneaky. So I did the photo, backed it off, and then I wanted to adhere it in the pocket, but I didn't want a staple. I didn't want washi tape at the top. So all I did was put a little bit of that size red line tape on that side and then fed it through and stuck it down. So all that's holding this pocket is a tiny bit of tape under this embellishment here, and I put the embellishment on the top of the pocket with another bit of the red tape, and that's holding it down. Then I decided I wanted a sticker, so I've done double-sided sticker and just stapled it. And look, honestly, you can hardly even see that staple, so that works okay. That works fine. One last photo, and that's it. Sorry to have rambled on so long, but I just wanted to give you a look at the Stamp Spots notebooks. Now, that's an older one. We now have new ones to play with. Yep, the cover is not as matte, it's shinier. It's a nicer colour, I think, a real cream, a creamy white. Paper's probably a bit thicker, I think, about the same. But basically exactly the same, but just a different looking book. Still from the Stamp Spot, still made in Australia, as eco-friendly as she can get them, which is a really important thing as well. So thanks for looking, and I hope this gives you some inspiration or some ideas with using pocket page notebooks, and cheers for now. Bye.